Woo! So, anything going on lately? Anything in the news? Goodness gracious. I am not going to talk about the freaking coronavirus. This video is related to that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm not talking about that because I feel like there's at least 1 to 2 people out in the sphere talking about the coronavirus. Is that, I mean, holy. Information overload. Listen to me real quick. Get off social media. Don't pay attention to social media. If I hear another freaking, my friend knows this friend who has a friend at the National Institute of I don't even know, and they said that this is the. I'm going to talk about habit today. The purpose of habit. We think about, I want to create new habits, but we don't really think about the purpose of habits themselves, how they work in our minds. It's kind of amazing and totally makes sense. And yes, this is going to kind of relate to the stress of all this. Let's do a quick reminder here. What weakens the immune system? Stress weakens the immune system. So anything you have going on in your life to make yourself healthier and happier should be aimed at a relatively managed level of stress. Not no stress, but not too much. Just the Goldilocks of stress, as I say. The goal just about right there. You got to figure that out for yourself, but not too much, not too little, so that you're not burning out and you're not stagnating. You're robust, you're strong, but you're not spent. The purpose of habit. Here's what happens when you do something new, a new exercise or eating better, whatever that thing is. When you take on walking when you're a baby, when you take on something new, you have to learn how to do that thing. And so you learn how to, you get the information about the recipe and the ingredients, and you learn how to cook it and prepare it and shop for it and all those kinds of things. And if you stick with it long enough, it becomes a habit. When that happens, the brain literally goes, okay, we got that dialed in. I'm going to push it over here because now it does what it does, and I know how to do that. I know how to walk. I've got the muscle memory. I know how to exercise. It's sort of become my day-to-day. I don't really think about it so much. It pushes it over to another area in the brain so that you can then take on new stuff. Here's why this is so cool and so important. Because what your brain is doing is making that action less stressful on you. It's like, okay, we got that dialed in. I'm gonna put it over here. Now I brush my teeth every day and I don't really think about it too much. That's pretty great. Here's the hitch. If your habits are not healthy, if your habits that you've created are unhealthy, the habits themselves will rule your day. The bad eating habits, the unexercising, as I was gonna say, but not exercising habits, sitting on the couch watching TV or social media, even worse, habit, is going to rule your day. How and why? Because it's gonna take over, because the unhealthy part of you is going to dominate your life. You're gonna have to deal with the ramifications of an unhealthy diet. You're gonna have to deal with the ramifications of unhealthy exercise regimen, or not, or no regimen at all. You're gonna have to deal with those things. That's why I deal in the arena of habits. That's the reason, is because as you raise those habits and make those habits healthy in whatever you do, if you're doing things in a way that is stress managed and creates actual healthy habits, then the bar of your day-to-day life goes up, and then all of a sudden you have much more freedom to do cooler things in your life, and also just be healthy and vibrant and strong, wink wink, now that all this crap's going around. Start listening to me, because this is strengthening you by managing your stress, by creating healthy habits like eating well and exercising. You are strengthening your body. You're making yourself more robust. You're making yourself better able to deal with the stresses of life that are gonna keep coming. The purpose of habit is to make it so that you remember how to do it so you don't have to think about it so much, so that alleviates the need to have to pay so much attention to this thing, so that then you can now pay more attention to all these other things. The only problem is, like I said, if this thing is hurting you and causing you more stress day to day, you never get to do the cool stuff over here, because you still have to manage this stuff even though it's a habit. Even though the habit of junk food is a habit, it's also a habit that makes you have to pay attention to it, because really it's causing you a whole bunch of damage, and you're never able to do all this cool stuff over here that you could do if this was a healthier version of an eating habit. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Take care of yourselves, you guys. I may be moving back to YouTube at some point very soon, because I think YouTube is potentially got their act together a little bit more, so maybe the next video, hop back over to YouTube. What I'm gonna do though, as I decided, is I'm gonna shut off all comments right away, so just no comments, period. Good or bad, just no comments. Watch the video, don't watch the video, move on with your life, and don't worry about commenting, and that way you can just kind of dig it and get the information and move on. Thank you to everybody who supports me, and keep listening to the podcast, What Sid Thinks. Thanks.